I, myself, and my colleagues at the Teen and Young Adult Health Center really want to thank the organizers of this conference for the establishment of the annual Dyan Aretakis Memorial Adolescent Medicine Lecture here. I have to tell you, this was Dyan's favorite conference, and as Drew and I were talking last night, it's not just because it was used to be at the Homestead, which also was one of her favorite places. But in fact, I had only been working with Dyan about 2 months when she said, Nancy, we have to get on the topic for the next conference. And every year it was like that, we've got to be on that conference. And I think that was because she always wanted to find avenues to share her knowledge that she had and the passion she had for improving the health and well-being of teens and young adults. Dyan, as many of you may not know, was one of the founders of the Teen and Young Adult Health Center here at UVA 28 years ago. The focus then was to reduce teenage pregnancy in Albemarle County, Charlottesville, and the surrounding counties. Dyan did that. And she also grew the center to what it is today, which is a comprehensive health center for adolescents and young adults at UVA. Dyan, as Ann mentioned, was a great teacher. She also was a great mentor, a colleague, friend, mother, and wife. She was all about relationships with her patients and families, her colleagues and trainees, community, and friends in her own family. Dyan was tireless and driven in purpose, as witnessed, as Ann said, by her being a speaker and workshop leader here last year when she actually was not feeling very well. She still was able to shine and share her knowledge and joy. She is dearly missed and can't be replaced. However, her purpose and legacy will live on through such events as this. She and Adolescent Topics will now always be here at Birdsong, and I know she'll be thrilled to hear that it's going to be at the Homestead next year, so she can be with you. She would also applaud the choice of our next speaker, Mary Sullivan, to be the inaugural speaker for this lecture. Dyan and Mary have worked together for many years advocating for teens and their families. Mary is the Adolescent Advocacy and Outreach Program Director for the UVA Teen and Young Adult Health Center. In this role, she served on many local development committees and commissions, including a city-county teen pregnancy prevention initiative, where she first began working with Dyan, the Commission on Children and Youth, the Charlottesville-Albemarle Commission on Healthy Youth, the Virginia Department of Education's Youth Education Alliance, and the Charlottesville City Schools School Health Advisory Board, of which she served as chair. She's also been involved with the Foothills Child Advocacy Center Board, the UVA Madison House Board, and the Virginia DOE Suicide Prevention Work Group. She provides education about normative adolescent development and sexuality education to local schools, faith communities, and parent groups. She is currently also the case manager for our center's gender-expansive patients, and she coordinates programming and support groups for LGBTQ+ middle and high school students and young adults through Side by Side, which formerly used to be known as Rosemead. Her talk today is supporting children who come out and their families. Mary?
Sorry, they were just telling me that a glitch had been taken care of. Thank goodness for great AV people. I'm technologically inept. So thank you so much. It's a real honor to be here. I have to say, this morning has been bittersweet. On the way over here, I parked near Staples and I hear this, "Hey, Miss Mary," and it's one of our patients who Dyan took care of yelling at me from the car. This happens every day. I think that one of the things that has guided me and guided the rest of our center staff is that Dyan really resisted pathologizing adolescence and adolescent development. It's a time of life that's often been seen as when folks engage in high-risk activities or who are called high risk, and we prefer the term vulnerable. And when I think about my work with LGBTQ+ youth who are vulnerable, it makes me think of Dyan's work with pregnant and parenting teens. So in the last workshop, I was talking about how the conventional message that even well-intentioned adults give to their LGBTQ children is, "I love you unconditionally, but I'm really worried that your life is going to be very hard and painful." And it's not a message those kids want to hear. And I think that is a similar message that pregnant and parenting teens have gotten. And Dyan would acknowledge, this is going to be tough for you, taking care of a child, but it's not going to derail your future. And there are numerous women in town, mothers, who have achieved everything they set out to achieve, even while having children at an age that was earlier than what they had anticipated and planned. I think she was prescient in that regard. She knew that the best way to achieve positive health outcomes for teenagers was not to judge them or prescribe or proscribe, but to listen to them, to help them articulate their goals, to show them love and compassion and respect. And when you do that with a teenager, particularly with a teenager who's not gotten that treatment from the adults in their lives, the results really are pretty miraculous. And as much as we miss her, she has left such, I don't know anybody who's had the impact she has had on our community. She has touched so many people, and we hear about it all the time, and we certainly see it all the time. So I'll tell you a little